Boker Tov, good morning. You all look so familiar. It's almost like just last night I saw you all. Glad to be here again. It's really my pleasure to start the opening ceremony of the 52nd session of the Ben-Gurion University's Board of Governors. Just before we start, and we've got a pretty long morning, just a couple of things I wanted to say in advance. First of all, as you all know, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a university to run a Board of Governors. And we'll be on Wednesday night at Leg Ba'omer, we're having a little party all together. We'll be thanking everybody. But knowing the effect of the desert and the intoxication of the wind and also the wine, I just want to start with a few thanks at the moment, so that you'll keep them in mind as we go along. So first of all, thank you for everybody in the university who's helped put this event together, but in particular, teams headed by Hadass Nissan, Hadass Moshe, Osnat Eitan, and Jill Bender, as well as from the President's Office, Nirit Segal and Aviva Barashi, you're going to see in a second. And two companies who are behind the scenes, but more than behind the scenes, IGT, who brought us all here safely, the IGT Travel, and Benda Productions, who are the ones providing all the lights. I just wanted to thank all of them, and we'll thank them again on Wednesday. A little bit about today, because I've been asked, and I want to make sure that that everybody is aware. So, as I said, today's a long day, but we didn't bring you all this way just to be in meetings. And so tomorrow and Wednesday, we've included blocks of time for you to sit out at the pool and relax and enjoy the desert. But today is a day which is going to be a slog for all of us. As I said before, we're starting the morning off, we're running all the way through to lunch, and then at 1:30, we're getting on a bus going to the campus. There are a number of reasons why you all have to be there. First of all, the campus is absolutely beautiful. This is the time where the lilac jacaranda trees are in bloom. They do it every year in time for the Board of Governors, and the campus is waiting for you. Our students are waiting as well, because the first thing we do when we get off the bus is we have a student fair, and the students have been working very hard and really want to see all of you. So if you're tempted to sit by the pool, come and see the students. Then we're going to have the dedication of the Who Are the Markers film, and I think we're in for a treat. We'll walk around the campus, see some of the most beautiful buildings that have just appeared out of nowhere in the last 3 years, and then head for our North dinner and a North Campus launch, which if any of you missed, you'll be kicking yourselves afterwards for years, because it's going to be an evening to mention. So please, it's a long day, but be with us the entire day, and we'll have time to relax later in the week. So thank you for that. I want to start, before introducing our chairman of the board, with a poem of an Israeli poet, Chaim Gurion. I'm going to read it in Hebrew just so that you can tell my mother my Hebrew is not bad after 40 years, and then in English. So Chaim Gurion writes, יש אנשים שאינם יכולים להיות במקום הזה, צהוב להם מדי, שקט שאפשר להשתגע. יש אנשים שאלוהים גדול עליהם במדבר הזה, אנשים נבהלים כשהם שומעים את הכוכבים בלילות, אבל יש אנשים שנדבקים לשקט הזה ואינם יכולים לשוב ולהיפרד ממנו. אנשים אלה נשארים כאן. And now in English. Some people cannot bear this place. The land is too parched. The silence can drive you mad. Some people feel that God is too present here in this desert. People are terrified by the sound of stars at night, but some are enchanted by the silence and cannot part from it. These are the people who remain here. And I now invite our esteemed Chairman of the Board of Governors, Lloyd Goldman, to approach the podium and share his remarks on behalf of the Governors. Thank you.
Good morning. 3 years has been a very long time. It's wonderful to be here with all of you in person. Last night was a great start to the 52nd Board of Governors meeting. As I said last night, the last few years have presented many challenges and has given us some new ways of doing things. Remote virtual meetings have kept many of us around the world in touch and up to date with the business of the university, and has helped us around the world to better coordinate and collaborate. For this process, we now have a much improved Global Development Committee. We have met almost quarterly and have done many and much good work. One of these many items, which I mentioned last night, was that the foreign associates have participated in, developed a program called Halutz. Halutz is similar to Americans for Ben-Gurion, for universities' Zinn Fellows program. These programs are designed to recruit and prepare a group of promising and talented young leaders who can learn about Israel and the university and can contribute from their experiences and energy to further the development of the university, the Negev, and the world. In this, we have collaborated on and are employing best practices across all of the foreign associates. At these board meetings and on campus, we will learn about new facilities and programs at the university which promise to be interesting, remarkable, and unforgettable. All of this has been done because of the collaborative efforts of all of us in this room and many more supporters not here. As you will see and hear, we are not finished. I ask you all to continue to be the best supporters and ambassadors you can be. We have so much more great stuff to do, as you will see today and tomorrow. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank President Shamovitz and everyone leading the university together with their staffs for making the board meeting and university remarkable and better. Jeff.
Thank you, Lloyd. And joining Lloyd on the stage is Aviva Barash, who's going to, along with Lloyd, conduct the procedures of the board. Thank you.
Present with us today, let me put this here. Present with us today are two of the vice chairpersons, Ellen Marcus and Tony Young, who is also the chairperson of the just mentioned Global Development Committee. I would also like to acknowledge Lionel Halperin, Chairman of the Finance Committee. We would now like to present the recommendations of the Nominating Committee for new members of the Board of Governors for a 3-year term. These recommendations are a result of consultations with the relevant associate organizations. Please refer to the new nominations, which are presented in the Board of Governors information packets and booklets that were distributed today.
Okay. Sylvan Adams from Israel. Terry Alpert, the United States. Elia Visrur, Israel. Andrea Zulay, Morocco. David Bareket from Israel. I now invite President Professor Daniel Shamovitz to approach the podium to grant David Bareket a certificate of appreciation for his long-standing efforts on behalf of BGU.
We're parting in 5 weeks from David Bareket's long-term tenure as Director General, and we'd like to present you the Board of Governors. You know, you're sometimes behind the scenes for the Board of Governors, but you're always enabling everything that we do. And so please come join me on stage, David. Certificate of Appreciation recognizing David Bareket in acknowledgement of your invaluable contributions and long service in the leadership of Ben-Gurion University of the Negev, with great esteem for your loyal dedication to the university's success over more than 3 decades. Wow. And including almost 20 years as Director General, with admiration for your role in securing BGU's position as a first-class academic institution. We're one of the only universities that got the highest financial rankings by the Council of Higher Education. And in gratitude for sharing the university's mission to advance the Negev and the future of Israel, signed by Yoram Ariav, Chairman of the Executive Committee, Lloyd Goldman, Chairman of the Board of Governors, and myself.
Well, Danny made me a surprise, and I'd like to thank you very much. I'm very excited, and thank you for your kind words, Danny. I'm very excited to be here at my last Board of Governors in the capacity of Director General. And it was my privilege and honor to serve the university for 3 decades and witness its growth, and take a play in it. And I was fortunate to work with and serve with many dedicated people who together steer the university to be one of the best universities in Israel and maybe in the world. And I'm very proud of BGU and its contribution to the Negev, to the state of Israel, and I wish it continuing growth and prosperity. And thank you, the members of the Board of Governors, for your long-standing support to the university. Thank you, President Shamovitz, for your trust and partnership, Rector Chaim Ames, Vice Presidents, Deans. It was my pleasure to be one of your team. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to honor our other new members of the Board of Governors. We have David Dahlberg from Canada. Michal Sivan Freidlin from Israel. Shana Goodmanson, Israel. Dr. Shelley Gordon from Israel. Andrea Gorin, United States. Marvin Israelo, United States. Dr. Esther Luzzato, Israel. Valentine Duma-Mouchard from Belgium. Zeev Miller, Israel. Dr. Michael Miriashvili from Israel. Joanne Moore, United States. Avi Nissen-Cohen, Israel. Peggy Cohen-Rabinowitz from Canada. Lisa Scheller from United States. David Taman, who just arrived from the airport from Switzerland. And last, Dr. Ruth Westheimer from the United States.
As this is a motion, I ask all in favor? Anyone against? Thank you. These nominations are approved by acclamation. Could our new members please rise, as we would like to congratulate them on their appointments and wish them great success. I would now like to present the recommendations for the re-election of members of the Board of Governors whose terms expire this year. These recommendations are the result of consultations with the nominees and the relevant associate organizations. We will not read the entire list, but ask you to refer to the renewal nominations that appear in the booklet. Okay. So I take it that we've all seen them, and I ask all in favor? Yes. Anyone against? Thank you. These nominations are approved by acclamation. I would like to thank all of them for their continued partnership and support. We would like to now express our deep gratitude to the members of the board who will retire at the end of this meeting. I am confident that we can count on their continued interest and support. As we welcome new board members to our family, we must sadly also acknowledge that there are some who have left us during the past year. I respectfully request that the Assembly rise as we read the names of the board members who have passed away since our last meeting.
Professor Chaim Aviv, Martin Blackman, Micha Daft, Nissim Gaon, Ben Geffen, Dr. Morton Moa, Professor Yitzhak Peterburg, and Dr. Joel Sinreich.
I take this opportunity to express our great sorrow on the recent passing of the visionary Nissim Gaon, who celebrated his 100th birthday only a few months ago. We had acknowledged this occasion by previously presenting him with a special memento from Ben-Gurion University. He was a Sudan-born financier who had a major impact on Israel's welfare and education. Programs Nissim Gaon funded thousands of scholarships to disadvantaged BGU students from development towns to cultivate their leadership abilities. Mr. Gaon also played a major role in developing relations between Israel and Egypt and helped to arrange the historic visit of Anwar Sadat to Beersheba and to BGU in 1979. Deeply involved in Jewish affairs, he founded Hechal Hanas Synagogue in Geneva and served as Vice President of the World Jewish Congress and Chairman of the Board of Governors of Ben-Gurion University. His strong dedication to this university and to the State of Israel inspires us all. Unfortunately, another dear friend of BGU, Eliza Bental, sadly passed away recently. Many of you knew Eliza as the energetic and multi-talented liaison to the Board of Governors for many years. At BGU, she did everything in her power to expand the university's international circle of friends and spoke enthusiastically with them about BGU, which she always considered home. May the souls of these dear friends rest in eternal peace, and may their memories be blessed. Please be seated. Last week, on May 8th, the Finance Committee reviewed and approved the financial statements valid for September 30th, 2021. You received these electronically in advance, so I hope you have all reviewed them and find them acceptable. So I now ask those in favor, please raise your hands. Okay, thank you. Any opposed? The board hereby approves the financial statements. The budget has also been reviewed and approved by the Executive Committee and was forwarded to you electronically in advance. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. The board hereby approves the budget. This year, we have made some amendments to the university's constitution and bylaws. After approval by the Executive Committee, explanations of the amendments were sent to you electronically, and I believe they're also at your seats. Mm-hmm. You can find them in the information sheets that were distributed today. I now request the Board of Governors to ratify these amendments. All in favor? Thank you. Anyone against? The amendments are approved by acclamation. We would now like to ratify the appointments of Yoram Aryav, Chairman of the Executive Committee, for a second term after being approved by the Executive Committee. All in favor? Thank you. Anyone against? Wonderful. The appointment is approved by acclamation. Yoram, please rise as we would like to congratulate you on your renewed appointment and wish you great success. Additionally, Yoram, please approach the podium to update us on the efforts of the Presidential Search Committee. I mean, it doesn't seem like we've had Danny here for a long time, but we've had to go through a search as his first term is nearing end.
Good morning. First of all, I thank you. It is an honor and privilege to serve a second term as chairman of the Executive Committee. And now I would like to inform you that the Presidential Search Committee performed its search process. Based on the joint decision of the Search Committee and the Executive Committee, we suggest that Professor Daniel Chaimowicz continue for second term of office as President of Ben-Gurion University. Now, let's vote. All in favor? Anyone against? Congratulations, Professor Chaimowicz.
Danny, please come up. We'd like to hear from you after this.
It's hard to believe that it was already 3 years ago that I stood, well, not here, but before you. Much as I felt at that Board of Governors meeting that I was a guest. I'd only been in the job 3 years. I didn't plan that Board of Governors meeting, and you welcomed me in as part of your family. I wasn't sure if I was playing the role of president, I was in a play or what, but I remember standing on that stage being amazed at the opportunity and the responsibility of being approved to be president of such an amazing institution. And here we are 3 years later, and I haven't met with you face to face since. So I hope, first of all, that this is the start of a new tradition, that I can not only meet with you when you elect me, but that we can meet at least once a year face to face. So what I'd like to do, just maybe in the next 10 minutes, is briefly go over what we've accomplished in the past 3 years, 3.5 years, and look forward to where we're trying to get to. So when I came in as president, my first goal, literally from the first day, was to build or rebuild a culture of trust within the university. This came from a deep understanding that our success can only come when the academic faculty, the administrative faculty, the technical faculty, and the students work together as one unit from the good in the university, and not with each one trying to blame each other for different things that are happening within the university. We did this as an administration together with a bottom-up process which we called BGU Impact, which was actually quite simple. All we had to do was get people around tables and do one thing: listen. And it's amazing what can happen when you bring people together and listen. And I think we could accept that where Ben-Gurion University is today is completely different where we were 3 years ago in this concept. The second is I wanted to put an emphasis on research. And over the past 3 years, we've more than doubled our financial investment in startup grants, the amount of financial resources we give to young faculties. We've increased the budget of research from within the university by over 20%. And concomitantly, there's been an increase in external research budgets by almost 15%. Third, I wanted to build on our 52 years of experience in desert, sustainability, and climate change. It was clear to me and to everyone involved in the administration that Ben-Gurion University needs to build from its strengths, and 50 years ago, we were put here in order to learn to live in our desert. And this is a preview for tomorrow, where we're going to be inaugurating the Goldman Sonnenfeld School of Sustainability and Climate Change, the largest, most comprehensive, and the first school of its type in Israel. Within this, we decided that one of the things we have to do as a university, our true opportunity, is to promote superdisciplinarity. And every time we got together and looked what we can do as multiple departments, multiple faculties coming together, the remarkable happened. The first, the School of Sustainability and Climate Change. But not only there, we have a renewed School of Brain and Cognitive Science, the program in Statistics and Data Analysis. These are the places where we've seen increases in students year after year since we've started. The Azrieli National Center for Autism Research, which brings together researchers from Soroka University Hospital, Ben-Gurion University, from multiple faculties, is a world-leading research center. And our Eitan Honors Program, which is bringing the most talented undergrads to Ben-Gurion University, not because they're committed to one particular field, but because they have curiosity in multiple fields. This is where we need to go forward, and we need to leverage this as we go into the next 4 years. We also need to leverage entrepreneurship in our ecosystem. 3 years ago, we founded Yazamut 360, the university's student entrepreneurship center, and it's been recognized globally, not nationally, globally, as one of the top centers in the world. Entrepreneurship has been one of the magic dusts which has now influenced all faculties, almost all programs of learning in the university. Our goal is not to teach entrepreneurship as a degree, but to turn all our students into entrepreneurs. To see, and entrepreneurship is not only a way of making money, it's a way of thinking. We now have courses for entrepreneurship for our administrative staff, to make our administrative staff entrepreneurs in changing the way we function as a university. And of course, I talked about developing a global network of supporters. If we look at our donations by country, I'm very pleased to say that Israel is now the third largest country for philanthropy to Ben-Gurion University. This is a major change in the way that we do things. And this has to keep increasing. For the past 2 years, for the first time in Ben-Gurion University history, we have raised over $60 million. It's never happened in Ben-Gurion University, and it keeps going up. I'm talking about money coming into the university, not money that's promised in the future. Money that we can count, funds that we can do things with. And these funds, what is it enabled? It's enabled incredible academics, such as in the School of Sustainability and Climate Change. It's enabled incredible research, such as the Namirashvili's Institute for Food Security in the Desert. And it's enabled incredible capital projects, such as the Sylvan Adams Sports Center. Without this philanthropy, none of this remarkable, important, essential development would have happened. And I hope you understand that all of us are incredibly, incredibly lucky. Together as a community of Ben-Gurion supporters, we have the most important job in the world. Not me as president, not Chaim as rector, not Tal, as who you will meet soon, as the new director general, but all of us together have the most important job in Israel. And the reason is that we are all responsible for incredible discoveries. Each and every one of us has a hand in these. And these discoveries leave a major mark. These discoveries lead to incredible impact to Beersheba, to Israel, and to the world. And I want to take you through history. I'm not a historian, but let's talk about four monumental, actually four crazy moments that have brought us here to this day. First one, the year I was born. David Ben-Gurion. You may consider me a madman and a layman, but I dream of a kind of Oxford in the Negev. Now, I don't know if David Ben-Gurion dreamed of an Oxford looking like Oxford. But remember, when he said this, there were more camels in Beersheba than there were people. There were only 60,000 people living in Beersheba in 1963. Today, we have 20,000 students, 1/3 of the population of Beersheba in 1963. Our campus, the Marcus campus, our main campus, is full. There's no room for any buildings on the Marcus campus. But we have this incredible opportunity. BGU's North Campus, you're going to be seeing it tonight. Right now, except for the dormitories, it's a massive sandbox. But imagine with me for a moment, 20 years hence, when the North Campus looks like this. 26 research and teaching buildings in all fields. How much impact will we have when we've accomplished this? We are not building this to be Herod. We are not building palaces. We are building palaces of research. We are building palaces of academia. That the real impact is not in the architecture, but what comes out of it. Another incredible moment, 2001, Avishai Braverman says the following: building a high-tech center adjacent to BGU fulfills a national mission of the highest priority, building the new Israel in the Negev. 2001, our high-tech park was an empty sandlot. No high-tech jobs in the South. I know that there are many in this room who didn't actually think that it was possible. But if you look now, what do we have at our high-tech park? For the first time ever, all four buildings are 100% capacity. There was an article in last week's Haaretz, the marker, showed that the growth in high-tech in Beersheba proportionally was the highest in any place in Israel. Over 3,000 engineers who have stayed in the Negev, 70% are graduates. Amazing. 2020, I'll give myself a quote from myself. 2020, Ben-Gurion University will lead the innovation district in Beersheba to new unforeseen heights. Can we imagine that this new national innovation district that's being built on the border between Ben-Gurion University's Marcus campus, Soroka University Hospital, the Advanced High-Tech Park, and the IDF bases? What is this going to look like when we have the urban renewal around it? The new businesses coming in? It's going to be a national event, changing, bringing people down here to the South. A lot of people think it's impossible. I guarantee you, within 10 years, it's going to be a reality. And why are we doing this? Why are we able to fulfill these dreams? Because we have superpowers. Not only our children believe in superpowers, I believe in superpowers. And what are BGU's superpowers? First of all, everything is possible. If you believe we can build an Oxford in the Negev, then you can believe anything. And we believe that. We're not afraid to think. We're not afraid to go boldly. We're not afraid to take chances. That's part of the legacy of David Ben-Gurion. Actually, all of Israel, if you think about it, is one big garage startup project that people like David Ben-Gurion dreamed of, and many people said could never happen. Because the impossible is possible. We believe and we do this with excellence and integrity, because the two go hand in hand. We do this because we believe in expanding opportunity for all the populations of the Negev. We have a major effect on what's going on in our neighborhood, and we can't ignore that. We do this because all of us together, all of us, we are fulfilling the Israeli spirit. Everything I've talked about defines what is great about Israel in 2022. One more amazing moment. This was December last year. The guiding principle has to be development of the Negev together with the development of those who serve in the Negev. Any idea who said that? The head of the IDF. The head of the IDF said that when they inaugurated, well, they broke ground for the base of the major intelligence units that are going to be built just north of our campus. So can you imagine in 5 years, when there are 3,000 of the smartest, most advanced cybersecurity soldiers adjacent to Ben-Gurion University, what that effect is going to be on the Negev, on Ben-Gurion University, on Israel, actually on the world. We're going to have the most powerful ecosystem of academia, the municipality, industry, and the IDF cyber units working together to build a new reality here in the Negev. But our real superpower is together. The only reason that we've managed to do all of this is that we do this as a team. We do this as a group. We do this as a collective. Ben-Gurion University, probably one of Israel's largest startups, is a result of people like you, the academics here. If you look around, we don't have a place where deans are sitting, where vice presidents are sitting, where large donors are sitting, small donors are sitting, where politicians are sitting. We're all here together as equals, because that is our true superpower. And together, everything truly is possible. So I'd like to thank you very much for your support over the past 3 years. Thank you for your support of Ben-Gurion University. And I am convinced that we really, truly have only just begun. Thank you very much.
Ben-Gurion University of the Negev embraces our endless potential as individuals and as a commonality to adapt and to thrive in changing environments. We aim to discover, to create, to pose questions that have yet to be asked, to develop solutions to dynamic challenges, and to push beyond the boundaries of the accepted and possible. We believe that our vantage point in Israel's Negev desert grants us a unique point of view. We invite you to set aside existing paradigms and to view the world from our unconventional perspective. We believe that bridging disciplines and cultures is critical to the success of research and scholarship. We believe in the delight of exploration, the culture of collaboration, and the cultivation of original ideas. Our unique perspective sparks our creativity, motivates our journey to understanding, and enables us to achieve the remarkable. In the pioneering spirit of David Ben-Gurion, we encourage you to adopt our expansive point of view and to see the extraordinary power emerging from the desert for Israel, and for the world. Ben-Gurion University of the Negev.
So I'd like to invite my partner in crime, Professor Chaim Hames, to update you on what's been going on academically in the university. Chaim.
Dear friends and colleagues, welcome to the Board of Governors. I first set foot in Ben-Gurion University of the Negev in April 1995, when I came from Cambridge to give my job talk to what was then the Department of History, Jewish Thought, and Middle Eastern Studies. The name might have been slightly different, but that was the department. Half a year later, just having handed in my PhD thesis, I left what William Blake describes as England's mountains greens for what could be described as the Negev's yellow-brown sand dunes. I had no idea then of the journey I was embarking on and where it would lead me. Academic life has many twists and turns, but in my wildest dreams, I did not imagine that I would become Dean of the Faculty of the Humanities and Social Sciences, and then end up being elected as Rector. And I'm humbled and honored that my peers in the Senate recently elected me for a second and last term to lead them as the head academic of this fine institution. A university is first and foremost a center of research and teaching, a place where like-minded individuals who are dedicated to discovering new things through trial and error, to playing with ideas and changing the ways we perceive and think about things, are given the time and space to pursue what fascinates them. They also have a duty to teach and share their knowledge and expertise with their students, giving them tools that they will need in the future, while identifying the best of the crop and encouraging them to also embark on the long, arduous, but intellectually exciting and stimulating academic journey. When Danny and I decided on our strategic plan for the university, we knew that we would have to step out of our comfort zone and convince our colleagues to embrace our vision. Our goal, as Danny has just told us, is to be one of the top universities in the world, and one of the ways to achieve this long-term object is to emulate the best practices of the finest universities. In the first instance, this means engaging all of the different populations in the university, including our Board of Governors, getting them on board and fully committed to this goal. This is a long process, and I believe that we have started moving in the right direction. But it needs a lot of patience, perseverance, dedication, and willingness to think outside of the box, continually questioning and being ready to admit that we have got things wrong, being prepared to listen and take chances and see things from different perspectives. Any university is only as good as its people, especially those who make up its academic community. And our goal is to ensure that the next generation of academics are just as good, if not better, than those who preceded them. Over the past few years here at Ben-Gurion University of the Negev, we have put a large premium on attracting the best and the brightest. But please do not misunderstand me. I'm not suggesting that in the past the university did not attract excellent researchers. It did. However, our location in the Negev was seen as a drawback to being able to convince brilliant young researchers to come to the university, along with not being able or willing to offer competitive startup packages. This, thankfully, is no longer the case. We are now considered attractive in many disciplines, and we are prepared to offer very, very competitive startup packages. Our selection process is more rigorous, and we can afford to be choosier in who we make offers to. We do not always get the best people or the people we make offers to, but that is the nature of the beast. We are, however, no longer a second or third choice, but are up there with the other leading universities in Israel. I am glad to report that after 2 intensive years of work and debate, the Senate recently approved new bylaws for recruiting and promotion, which reflect the excellence we are seeking to achieve and maintain, both in research and teaching, for the whole duration of the academic careers of our faculty. We have also streamlined the absorption process for new researchers with our new Office for New Researchers led by my colleague, friend, and Vice Rector, Professor Gal de Botton, who actually is not here with us at the moment because he's teaching, right? This office, which basically accompanies the new faculty member during her or his first few years in the university and aids them in dealing with all the bureaucracy and other challenges of early career academia, has become a source of envy for other universities and gives us additional pull when talking with possible recruitments. Going together with the new office is our mentoring program for new faculty, which has been totally revamped and is now run on a more professional footing with clear purposes, goals, and milestones. The mentors are handpicked and are themselves beacons of excellence, serving as role models for the new faculty. They are given professional training and are also remunerated for their time and efforts, with the funds dedicated to forwarding their own research. Another important aspect for encouraging academic excellence is by finding ways to increase interdisciplinary research and teaching. Danny mentioned this just before. Over the years, some of my best ideas have come from talking to people from very different fields about my work, and thinking about their comments and questions has led me down very interesting paths. One of the stimuli for applying for and setting up the Israel Center of Academic Excellence on Conversion and Interreligious Encounters in 2013 was to bring together researchers from different disciplines to enhance conversation and joint research projects. The center is an immense success and an example of how multidisciplinarity, along with a creative and supportive environment, can produce wonderful results. We are working on doing the same on a university level. The creation of the School of Sustainability and Climate Change, which will be named later this week following a generous donation by Michael Sonnenfeld, the School for Brain Sciences and Cognition, and the program in Statistics and Data Analysis are prime examples of how we are breaking down academic silos to create stimulating environments where researchers from all the faculties can cooperate in research, teaching, and supervision of graduate students. In a similar vein, we are in the process of developing our new teaching programs for the next Council for Higher Education's 6-year cycle. Our emphasis is on promoting interdisciplinary teaching programs that do not belong to a specific academic department, but take advantage of the expertise that we have in different faculties, while also, we hope, anticipating the needs of the future job market and cutting-edge research. Hence, we are promoting new undergraduate programs in CTech, sustainability, human-technology interaction, and graduate programs in smart cities and infrastructure systems and European studies, amongst others, and watch this space for more details. We are putting much effort into improving our teaching, and to this end, I appointed Professor Timur Melamed from the Faculty of Engineering as Pro-Rector for Teaching. Timur, stand up so that everyone can acknowledge you. Thank you. I do not want to rehash things that have already been said numerous times about teaching during the coronavirus, just perhaps to emphasize that while we were forced to adapt and adopt new teaching methods and technologies, we have also learned that for most of our students and lecturers, moving online was not advantageous. Having said that, we have also learned an awful lot about how we can change our teaching methods to take advantage of the good things that we learned over the past 2 years, and there is no going back to pre-corona days. Our students want more flexibility and choice about how they learn, and our lecturers are more willing to try out new ways of frontal teaching that include technological tools and make better use of the valuable time available. We are in the process of reorganizing our unit for the promotion of quality in teaching and learning with the aim of turning it into a fully fledged center, hiring more experts in pedagogy, increasing its visibility and role in training our lecturers and aiding them with improving their teaching skills and methods. Recently, we recognized the cream of the crop of our teachers as reflected in the student surveys, but also included a new category, focusing on the use of new teaching methodologies. Evaluation of teaching will now become part and parcel of every promotion process and not just for tenure proceedings as it has been up to now. Good teaching is crucial for attracting high-quality undergraduates who will then go on to be great graduate students, and we cannot afford to be lax in this area. You will shortly hear more from the Vice President and Dean of Research and Development about our successes in grant applications, awards, and the investment in infrastructure for research. We have seen slow but steady growth over the past few years, but there is still much room for improvement. The model used by the PBE to measure our research outputs is relative, and therefore any increase in our research productivity is very welcome, but it is not enough, as we must outperform other universities in order to increase our part in the higher education research budget. Together with the deans of the faculties, and this is an opportunity to publicly thank them for their commitment and hard work. So please stand up and take a bow. Gabi Lemkov from the Natural Sciences. Avi Levy, Engineering Sciences. Miki Malul from Business and Administration. By the way, if you watch the video carefully, you saw him walking on the ceiling. Yeah, just before. Angel Pogador, Health Sciences. Noam Weisbrod, the Jacob Blaustein Institutes for Desert Research. David Wettstein, the Humanities and Social Sciences. And I didn't see him, but I hope he's here. Dudi Bar-Tzvi. Is he here? No, but Dudi Bar-Tzvi, who is the Dean of the Kreitman School of Advanced Graduate Studies. And also Yaniv Poria, is he here? Who is the Dean of the Elat campus. Oh, of course, yes, thank you. And Orna Almog, is she here? Orna Almog, who is the Dean. Thank you for telling me, thank you for returning the favor from last night. I hear myself in an echo. Okay, so together with all the deans, and we work to ensure that we'll try that again. Okay. We work to ensure that we are providing the faculties, the facilities and environment that will foster outstanding research and teaching and help to free up time from other administrative tasks that should be dedicated to research. As we look forward to the coming year, barring any last-minute hiccups, we will start to see the fruits of all our hard work in preparation for the arrival of the technological and intelligence units of the Israel Defense Forces as they relocate to the areas around the university, and Danny mentioned that just before. This relocation will bring more students to the university, particularly to areas connected with computer sciences, and we will be expanding our faculty in these areas as well. We expect this move to have a major impact on the Negev in general and the university in particular, and we are working to ensure that the government lives up to its decisions and promises. I would like to conclude by going back to something I mentioned at the start of my remarks, the concept of the academic community. As you know, Ben-Gurion University of the Negev is a comprehensive university, which means that our almost 850 tenured faculty members come from a broad variety of academic disciplines, each of which has its own research methods, tools that it uses, equipment needed to accomplish goals, ways of teaching undergraduates and supervising graduate students. Our student body is also very heterogeneous, not only in its makeup, but also in its abilities, interests, and desires. Our future success is very much dependent on our ability to embrace the heterogeneity of our community and create a stimulating intellectual atmosphere that seeks to break new ground and work for the benefit of humanity. In this sense, the whole is very much more than the sum of its parts. And as a thriving academic community, we will really be able to achieve the remarkable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Hames. Not only do we share background of the British Isles, though I'm from the more successful north part of but we also share a dram of single malt from time to time, and thank you for that. A year ago at our virtual Board of Governors, we remembered our dear, dear friend Alex Goran, who passed away on February 23rd of that year. And we all miss Alex very, very much. And today we're honored to have the presence of his sister Michaela Goran-Monti. There's Michaela, I think she'll, please. And it is a very fitting point in our procedure to talk about one of the most important contributions of the Goren-Goldstein family, one of the, as Danny pointed out yesterday, the royal families of BGU, who created the Goren-Goldstein International Center of Jewish Thought, which presents a prize for the best book Jewish thought has appeared in recent years. And we like to do things in double, so this year we have 2 books. And I would like to ask Professor David Wettstein, Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, to join me on the stage to announce this year's winners. Please.
Thank you, Jeff. Before I start, I would like to express my own sincere gratitude to all of you, Board of Governors members, President Daniel Chaimovich, Rector Chaim Hames, and all the faculty for their continued help and support to the university in general and to the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences in particular. Thank you very much. Thank you. The joint winners of the 8th Triennial Award for the Best Book in Jewish Thought were selected from among over 70 books submitted for consideration. The winners are Yehuda Halper, Jewish Socratic Questions in an Age Without Plato, Permitting and Forbidding Open Inquiry in the 12th to the 15th Century Europe and North Africa, and Maoz Kahana, A Heartless Chicken, Religion and Science in Early Modern Rabbinic Culture. Halper's book is innovative in several respects. The image of Socrates among medieval Jewish thinkers has not until now been systematically studied. And the book nicely complements Eli Alon's studies on the Arabic Socrates. Halper's starting point is Plato's portrayal of Socrates' philosophical quest as a paradox. Socrates sees his philosophical inquiries as divinely commanded, but such questioning has the potential to challenge divine authority and divine law. Philosophy requires an open attitude toward asking questions on all things, including the divine, which can undermine commonly accepted religious beliefs. By choosing the Socratic paradox as the book's central theme, Halper presents the relation between Judaism and philosophy in an original and thought-provoking manner. The second book, Maoz Kahana's book, offers, Yehuda Halper's book, and Maoz Kahana's book, one in English and one in Hebrew. Maoz Kahana's book offers a complex portrait of the relationship between science and religion in early modern rabbinic literature, both Kabbalistic and halachic, in Eastern and Central Europe. Underlying the book is the premise that the rabbinic literature of this era engaged to an exceptional degree with the new ideas of the scientific revolution. This engagement led to the emergence of new forms of thought that greatly enriched Jewish theological and philosophical discourse in doing so. In doing so, the author offers a rich and exceptional portrayal of early modern Jewish society. The book draws on an exceptionally broad literary corpus, including several hitherto unknown manuscripts. The award committee is convinced that both books are extremely worthy of this distinction, signed by Professor Essian Fontaine, Emerita, University of Amsterdam, Professor Adam Efterman, Tel Aviv University, Professor Jonathan Meir, Committee Chair, and Ben-Gurion University of the Negev. Thank you very much.
And so, thank you everybody for presenting. We're going to take a very short break because we need to do some stage arranging. We ask, there are some water and things like that. We ask you not to leave. It's like 5 or 7 minutes and we'll be back sitting where we are. So please just stay around. And the next session is actually a bird's eye view into Danny's office, where the vice presidents are sitting around having a conversation about dealing with the university's big challenges. So don't miss it, stay around, and we'll see you in a very few minutes. Thank you very much.